What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, The Flash. And so here we have the McFarlane Flash posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The Flash does come with 6 lightning accessories. We do get one for his right arm, we get one for his left arm, we get one for his right boot, we get one for his left boot. We also get one that pegs into his back, which is my least favorite. Finally, we do get a lightning attachment that does peg into his foot, and that lightning attachment can peg into the McFarlane display base, which is his final accessory. Other than that, the Flash here doesn't come with anything else, which I think the lightning attachments are pretty cool in their own right. They could be a little bit better. But anyway, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at the Flash. And so here we have a closer look at the Flash. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't like this head sculpt for some reason. Me, personally, I think this is a really good Flash head sculpt. I don't know what people were expecting, but this is a nice head sculpt, and I challenge somebody to give me a reason on why it's not a good Flash head sculpt. Is it the lightning ears? I do think that the ears are a little bit long, but that doesn't ruin the head sculpt. It looks just like the Flash. It has that kind of snarky attitude that Barry Allen has, but it also has that charming good guy personality that Barry Allen is known for, and this figure does a really good job of capturing what Barry Allen's personality is, even though he does wear a mask. I think this is a really good representation of it, and it has a lot of nice little details on it, especially right here. You can see they did sculpt the ridges in the helmet as well as the part where the lightning attaches, which is painted. Could be a little bit cleaner, but it is good for the most part. So I honestly don't know what's wrong with this head sculpt for a lot of people. If you don't think this is a good Barry Allen head sculpt, let me know now why you don't think so. But anyway, moving on to the rest of his detail. I do like this body that they use for the Flash. It's perfect. It's not too bulky, but it's not too skinny, and it looks like a runner's body. Something I really do love is the lightning bolt. It is a separate piece that they did peg into the body, which that's a really smart move so that they didn't have to glue it or accidentally, misalign it. It actually has a crevice that it plugs into. Really nice detail right there. And I also love this lightning, or not lightning, but this paneling right here. I wish this was sculpted so that the yellow lines would go somewhere, but I still like the way it looks. Now, there's a lot of detail on his costume that McFarlane really didn't have to put on. They could have just made him a flat red costume and called it a day, but they actually added some really nice details here. You can see some ridges right here going on his shoulders, and that does carry onto his back. You can see it more right here on the back. We have a panel line, and then we have some more of these ridges right here. I don't know what it is, but it actually works for the Flash. It's almost like it's breathable material that is in places that it needs to be, like here on the shoulders, although I think it should be more on the inside of the arm than the outside. That's just me personally. But yeah, all this detail, they didn't have to add it in, but it looks really nice that they did. So really glad that they did throw in all this extra detail, because it adds something to the costume that really does bring it to life. Now, I do like the fact that these lightning bolts are sculpted on. They're just not painted. As you can see, it does go over the peg hole. Now, unfortunately, they did have to be painted, and the paint on mine, thankfully, is really good. I know there are some people that have had really bad paint jobs, especially because it's yellow over red. And honestly, I think this yellow has a little too much blue in it. I think if they had a little more red, it wouldn't be as bad. But it still looks really nice. Same thing with the belt here. Mine is okay. It's not 100%. You can see there is some thinness right here, especially along the edge right there. But the belt does look really clean, and I do like the way the belt looks. So I really can't fault McFarlane on that, because for the most part the paint looks really nice. Going down his costume, you can see more of this ridge lining right there. I kind of wish they added something to the back just to give it like that accordion flex that it has in the show. That's just me personally, but moving on to his boots, where you can see he does have some really nice panel lining. The lightning bolts do look really good. And because this is the Rebirth, I do have to reiterate, this is the Rebirth from the DC Rebirth event. It's not Flash from the Rebirth series. So he doesn't have the wings coming out of his boots, but you can see the porthole for his lightning attachment. We do have some more detailing on the boots, and unfortunately no treading on the undersole of his feet, and I'm pretty sure that has to do with one of the lightning attachments that pegs onto the bottom of his foot. But overall, really do like the way the Flash came out, and I think McFarlane has done a really good job with this particular body. I really want to see them reuse this for a reverse Flash, just flip that insignia. Oh, one thing I do need to point out, the one thing I don't like about the insignia is the white is so recessed in there that you really can't see it. It kind of looks yellow because of how the light reflects off of it. They should have found a way to bring the white out just a little bit more. That way it doesn't get lost in the yellow. But overall, still liking the way Flash looks. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have the Flash posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. And so here we have the Flash posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we do have the Flash posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now the Flash here does have some really good articulation, and I really love the way it works. He can look up a surprising amount, and that is because his head was hollowed out just a little bit, so he can look up a little bit better. He can look down really nice, and his head is on a double ball joint, so it does pivot forward and back. As you can see, you can tilt it to the left, to the right, and it does turn left and right. One thing I want to mention is be careful with these. They're soft enough that they do get out of the way, but if you apply too much pressure here at the base, I kind of feel like that is going to snap them off, so do be aware of that. His shoulders attach via ball joint going into the torso, so those do move back and forward. They do move up and down slightly, so I do like that. They go all the way around with nothing hindering them. Go out to the side really nicely. Does a full 360 out. Love it. We do have a bicep swivel, which is a little bit stiff on mine, but it does work. So really good there. Just have to loosen that up a little bit. He does have a double bend at the elbow, giving us much better than 90 degrees, almost a full 180, so I do appreciate that. Then he does have a ball hinge at the hand, which does have up and down movement. We can rotate that for in and out movement. And of course the hand rotates on that peg. So really good choice of articulation there. Finally, we do have a ball joint here in the torso, which as you can see works fine. Goes forward a little bit, goes back more, tilts to the side, to the other side, and rotates. Then we also do have a secondary ball joint, which lets his torso bend that far back. Doesn't crunch that far forward. They really need to work on the forward momentum for that. Does lean to the side really nicely, and of course that does rotate as well. Hips do kick forward all the way. In fact, you can get them really high up if you really want to. They do kick back about that far. Go out to the side, full split, no problem for the Flash. He does have a little bit of thigh rotation. He has a double bend here at the knee going all the way up. So good range on the knee there. Kind of ratcheting. Oh, you heard that click there, I hope. Yeah, it's fine. It was just a stuck joint, but never like hearing that sound. He does rotate at the foot. Does have a hinge which goes back and forward. Forward facing pin for rocker. And with that rotation, we can have true rocker ankle. And finally, we do have toe hinge. So overall, the Flash here is done really well, and McFarlane has knocked it out of the park with this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Flash pose for my final thoughts, and overall I really do like the way the Flash came out. I think the accessories on him work, with the exception of the accessory that attaches to his back. I have no idea how it's supposed to actually function, because while he's running, his body is turning, and you really can't adjust the lightning on his back to compensate for the turning. But I think just having it attached to the arms and legs is good enough. It gets the point across, and as you can see, they all do work really fine for the Flash, and I do like the way it came out. Now, like I said, I really don't see why people don't like this head sculpt. It looks like the Flash. That's pretty much how you would expect Flash to look, and it captures the character so nicely. I'm thinking people are just looking for something to complain about this figure because it's actually one of McFarlane's better figures. If you are lucky enough to find the Flash, definitely pick him up if you're trying to collect all the Multiverse figures. Flash is a must-have, and the accessories on him look really nice. If you're a fan of the Flash, again, this is a must-have figure because this is probably one of the best Flash figures out there in his not really classic costume, but his iconic looking costume. That's probably the best way I can describe it. If you haven't already picked up this Flash, like I said, I really recommend you do. He is available at Walmart, Target, Walgreens. Your comic book store should be getting them in right now. Amazon and other big name retailers also carry the Flash. I picked mine up from Amazon, and he did run me about $20, which is what you expect to pay from McFarlane Toys. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments. And if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.